The last few years we've had to make extra ones for
Last minute?
yeah.
Alright, welcome everyone to the 12th annual Hangi at Simon Leeming's house. Let's give it up for Simon! Alright, now let's give it up for Simon's knees!
Simon's knees!
I warned you I was going to do that, mate. You wear those shorts, you've got it coming. I've got a couple of notes here and I put them on my iPhone. It's very fancy. Just imagine a couple of years ago I put them on pen and paper. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here that hasn't been here before. Can I get a show of hands from those people that haven't been here before? And everyone that hasn't got their hands in the air, give them a clap. That's awesome. This is only my second year. Somehow I ended up on the stage. I really don't know why, but thank you, Simon. I'm not one to shut up ever, and I'm not going to start now. So I'd also like to thank the opposition 15 who we played in rugby today. All you Americans. Yeah, you're going to be feeling it tomorrow, mate.
I'm already feeling it.
Sorry about and I'd like to thank the Consul 15 who kicked their beep. Simon and I had to work out the score, and I don't really want to rub it in, but it was 24-0. That's right, 24-0. So it was a good game, you guys, and I'd like everyone to put their hands together for the just good sporting arrangement there. It was awesome. I'd like to say it was a game of 3 quarters or 3/3, and rugby was the winner on the day. Really, because I am sore. Alright, there's someone else I really want to ask up here today, and I want to introduce you guys to Rick and Kirsten. Can you guys come on up here real quick? Are they moving? Are they moving? Oh yeah, here they come. Now, I just want to tell you a little bit about these two. I know nothing, but I took some notes. Kirsten, hands up, mate, just while you're coming up here. Kirsten works for Kia, which is Kiwis abroad doing fancy things on a website. There's more to it than that. Check it out because it's awesome. And she also works at the British Consulate and helps us out with a whole bunch of stuff, including fundraising last couple of years when we did the earthquake. Now, these two, right or wrong, smart or stupid, got married today. So congratulations on that. And okay, so they did that, right? That is good, you know, get married, you know, welcome to Club Stupid. I mean, Club Awesome. But then they made another decision. They came here to spend the rest of their evening with us, so give it up for these guys! Alright, so one more time, just a huge round of applause to these two and the future for them. Congratulations, both of you guys. Thank you for sharing it with us. Oh, yeah. And they imposed with 45 guests. I mean, no, they brought 45 party guys. Woo! So thank you guys, it's awesome. If you saw that coach out the front, that was them. So thank you on sharing a special day with us. Drunk Kiwis. And Simon's knees. I apologise for that. Just don't let them take photos above a short line. Okay. And I've got one last thank you and then it's done for me. I really want to take a moment and thank Alice and Simon, Charlie and Isabel for having us at their wonderful house. I mean, take a look around. What could get better than this? Fall in New Hampshire. For all you New Yorkers, New Hampshire. And the leaves are awesome. Simon has an open heart, open house. And yeah, so if you're hungry on Monday, stop on an open bar. I'm hearing over here from Arthur. Thanks, Arthur. I'll be right there, mate. Yeah. And so I really want to thank those guys for having us, and I just want to mention parts of the family, of Simon's family, that aren't here. And it's Juliet, Caroline and Tori, who are all in New Zealand soaking up a wonderful education, right Simon? Yeah! Good on you, mate, well done. And at this point, I'd really like to put your hands together and thank Simon for his absolute generous hospitality, Simon and Alice. So thank you, Simon. Thank you very much. So that's it from me. You can clap again because I'm over. Alright, so I'll give him a hug, give him the microphone, and we'll call it good. Oh yeah, there's one more thing, because I'm not one to remember details, but just one of these, Simon? Oh, there is one of these. Oh, there's two, okay. I'd like to say to my wife, first of all, don't get jealous because I don't give you flowers, but where's Alice? I'd like to get Alice up here. I've got a little something there for Alice. Come on over, mate. These are for you, congratulations, thank you for having us. No, they're from Simon. Oh, three-way hug. Yeah, I'm not to get in on anything, but at this point I'd like to turn it over to Simon, and all you guys give him a round of applause for his extreme generosity again. Thank you very much, Simon.
Thanks everybody. We specially put in for the rain so that people could get together under the marquee, get to know each other, and then when it cleared we'd have this. It was all preordained. I'd like to firstly mention the embassy, and we have here today a number of people from the embassy. Anthony Smith, who's the DCM, the Deputy Chief of Mission. He's the second in command to Ambassador Mike Moore. We also have Duncan Roy and Andy Kelly. Andy was the captain of the Consuls 15, and we have, along with Andy and his wife Lindy and their newborn Florence. So could you just put your hands together for that? I asked Anthony on behalf of New Zealand, on behalf of Ambassador Moore, to come up and say a couple of words. I told him if he goes beyond 5 minutes, we have a sharpshooter up on the roof. But Anthony, if you could just come up and address the crowd, I appreciate it. We first met Anthony when the New Hampshire primary was on, and New Zealand has a huge interest in American politics, and Anthony is right at the cutting edge of what's going on and taking a keen interest in the presidential election. But this is not about politics today. This is about just being Kiwis and having a good time.
Well, on behalf of the New Zealand Embassy and my ambassador who can't be here today, I'd like to welcome you to this event, and thank you very much, Simon, for putting it on. I first met Simon when I came up here in January to attend the presidential primaries. And during that time I learned that if you give a speech in New Hampshire, you have to use a couple of expressions. One is to talk about the granite state, and the other one is to talk about live free or die, I think is the other thing you have to talk about. I understand that one of my predecessors got up here and talked for 30 minutes or something like that. It's probably buried in a hangi pit back there somewhere. So I just wanted to say a few words about the New Zealand-US relationship, and this will just take a minute. I think in the last couple of years, the improvements in the relationship between New Zealand and the United States have been breathtaking. I don't think there's any other way to put it. Last year we had Prime Minister Key meeting with President Obama. We've had Hillary Clinton in New Zealand a couple of years ago. She was in the Cook Islands recently. We recently had Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta in New Zealand. The first time since 1982 that a US Defense Secretary had visited New Zealand, and obviously there was this relates to the anti-nuclear policy which New Zealand is keeping, and New Zealand and the United States have learned to agree to disagree, but cooperate in every other way. So just a few words on that, and I'll be circulating around if any of you want to talk further about that. But once again, thanks Simon, and I appreciate what you're doing here.
Thank you, Anthony. make a few call-outs.
Shout outs.
James McCusker was my first boss. The McCusker family are like my second family, and James is here today with a lot of his family. Just want to recognize James. Where are you, James? There you go. James had a couple of medical setbacks, and he made an enormous effort to get here. He's a great friend, a dear friend, and he's been at basically every hangi. He's a real institution with us. James, thank you very much. His wife Barbara, and all the family. Ada Papa. She's going to be singing later. She's great. She's just a great friend of ours, and you're in for a treat. A few thank yous for people who've done things. Renee, Rial, Sylvain Thoreau. They provide the dumpster, and they provide the big marquee tents. And these sorts of things help us put on the show. We thank them. Judith and Peter Colgan, who provided coffee and benefits to us. We thank them. Nick and Linda Tumpus. How can I say any more? Nick, in our first hangi, which went pretty well but had some average spots, Nick sort of came in, took over, and ever since he's not only run New Hampshire's Department of Health and Human Services, more importantly, he's run all the food, etc., the kai at the hangi. We can't thank Nick enough. Thank you. And thank you, Linda. Again, Kirsten and Rick, fantastic. We're so privileged to have you here, and all your family from New Zealand, and all Rick's family here from the States. It's great to have you. Thank you. These events are about people coming together, about ceremony, and you represent all of that. Thank you very much. The name Ferguson has huge meaning.
Did you figure out how to work again?
So Bernard
My son
Ferguson
came and
was
flicked a
the
couple of
general.
switches. I had no idea.
His mother
Can I go through these?
was
That's
in New
'cause he
Zealand
plays video games,
long
isn't it?
time ago, and from the UK, learned Maori. Today we are most privileged to have Geordie and Margaret Ferguson. Geordie was the British Consul General in Boston when I first met him. We've seen them back in New Zealand. He was the High Commissioner to New Zealand. He's now the High Commissioner to Bermuda, and he's an absolutely wonderful person. He and Margaret, all of his affinity to New Zealand is so strong. All of his children have Maori names, and he is just the best, as is Margaret as well. Geordie, where are you? The hangi and rugby go together. So I'd like to call up Stu Dunlop, Andy Kelly, Mike O'Callaghan, please. Come up, gentlemen.
Punch bag. Pick the ring.
Justin.
Yeah, you pick the ring. You buy the ring. Oh, mate. Only food, though. Not like
So, where's that? Here you go, mate. Andy, we named Andy captain so he would not pick fights with everybody else. It worked. Yeah. So, Mike O'Callaghan, for you who don't know, is a former All Black. He was the one who brought fitness to rugby. He really did. And he had one setback. He injured himself skiing earlier this year, so he couldn't play, but we're going to have him back next year, right, Mike? Yeah. What we'd like to do is thank Stu and the loyal opposition. They are such an integral part of the hangi, and thank you and all of your team. Appreciate it. And I'd like to have have Mike, and those of us who play for the Consuls 15 can now say we've been coached by an All Black. Mike will present the Consuls Cup to Andy Kelly on behalf of the team.
Again.
Andy,
Head coach and training.
congratulations.
I've never even seen you
If
before.
I can read this looks like the Consuls
Yeah,
Cup.
great
So,
training.
congratulations, well done. I'd just like to say a word on behalf of all of those who've competed in this competition. I've been here for the last, 10 years, I believe. And Simon, it's been a great privilege to play with both the opposition and with the team. And I think this is a great illustration of what New Zealanders can do when they put it together in a team-like way, and I think it's been really great. And the way the spectators got involved today, I think, was just a reflection of that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Every year we have an award, and we give the award to somebody who's made a significant contribution to the Hangi. Last year we gave it to Al and Lisa, who live over there. They didn't even show up. This year we're giving it to Kathleen. Kathleen lives next door over there. And her contribution, in addition to her wonderful approach to life, is that she allows us to park the cars next door. And she is a wonderful woman. And Alice, would you get the flowers? And so we'd like to present her this year with the Hangi shovel. It says Kathleen Schmitz, the Hangi shovel 2012. You're going to put it in your... You're going to help us dig out this pit. Yeah. We're not going for this sort of wheelchair thing. You're going to come and help. And this year, we've added another award, because I wanted to not only recognize people who helped the Hangi, but people who helped this great part of New Hampshire. And so today, we're privileged to have a gentleman with us who had a distinguished career in the Air Force,
You're not talking about me again, are you?
spent time and was in charge of all of U.S. communications in Vietnam, who spent time with his family, who we know, in Spain, in Germany, and all parts of the States, who built almost single-handedly the Merrimack County Nursing Home. He was a county commissioner at the time, and who built the Merrimack County Jail. And both of those are really cutting-edge, thoughtful approaches to how to house elderly who are infirm, and how to house prisoners in a way that's not only humane, but recognizes all the different aspects that society needs in that. And so today, I'd like to, this is the Taiaha. I'd like to welcome and bring up J.D. Colkin, who is the gentleman I'm talking about, who I've gotten to know, it's a great privilege, and I was so privileged to have him give me tours of both the jail and unfortunately they let me out, and the nursing home. And so what this says is the Hangi Rake J.D. Colquitt 2012.
Thank you, Simon. I'm not used to public speaking, as you can probably tell, and I'm certainly not used to having a mic because you can hear me without one perfectly. I was a little selfish when I built or helped build the jail and the nursing home. I have a suite in each one. And there's some question where I will end up, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Thank you, Simon.
Appreciate it. You're almost over with me. I've got a few things to say. Firstly, I'd like to thank Freddie Flaherty, my law firm. I'd like to thank Mary Currier, who couldn't be here today, my secretary. I'd like to thank Lisa Poulin, who is really the driving force behind the Hangi. She works at Freddie Flaherty as well. She couldn't be here either. So if we could just give them a clap, I'll tell them you'll clap for them. And I'd like to call up Danielle McLaughlin. Where are you, Danielle?
That's a very pink phone.
Kia is a huge part of the expat community here in New England. And Danielle has taken over from others who are also here, Kirsten Chambers, James Burns, Karen Wilcox, and others. I'm sorry if I overlooked somebody.